暗いな。どこ行けばいいとこ。こっちでいいのか。
The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
あれか。バスケットボール投げられそうなとこ。あ、違うのか。
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
なんか動き出しそうな家だ。
As a child, the house made me
子
uncomfortable
供
in
の
a
頃
way I
うま
couldn't
く
put
言え
into
ないけれど、
words.
この家は私を落ち着かなくさせた。
Now, as a 17-year-old,
今
I knew
17
exactly
歳にな
what
っ
those
て
words
何
were.
と言えば
I was afraid of the
よかっ
house.
たかわかる家を恐れていたんだと。どういうこと？
I hoped the key might unlock
鍵
the
で
front
玄
door.
関のドアが
It didn't.
開けばいいなと思ったけど甘かった。
Looking in, I felt like
中
the
を
house
覗
itself
くと
had been
家
waiting
はそ
for
れ自
me.
体のスケールモデルみたいだった。どうしろと？侵入するの？あ、違う。葉っぱが一瞬猫に見えた。シャッター開けれる感じじゃない。割れてる。
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot
犬
easier when I
用
was
のドアを
11.
くぐるのは11歳の時の方がよほど簡単だったっけ。どんだけ小柄なんだ。
The power had been turned off the night we left.
電気はずいぶん前に止められていた。わあ、なんかいっぱい工具がある。フォールアウトみたいな。
For the first time in years,
久しぶりに。何？
I felt like I was home.
家にいる気分がした。いつもどこにいるの？
But instead of a family, there
で
were
も
just
家族の
memories of
代わり
one.
にあるのは記憶の抜け殻。はあ。なんだっけこれ、浄水器みたいなのついてる。
Like how only one restaurant would deliver to
島
our
で出
house,
前し
so
て
we had
くれ
Chinese
た
a
たっ
lot.
た一軒のレストランのこととか、早い。読めなかったし。これガスレンジか。 すごいな。なんでこんないっぱいスイッチがあるの。
Or how after Louis started
そ
working
れ
at the
と
cannery,
か
we
ル
all
イス
got
が
sick
缶
of
詰
being
工場で
examined.
働き出し
Except
て
our
から
cat,
み
Molly.
んなやがて鮭に焼きがさしたか早いって。誰も見てないか。誰も見てない
The
け
table
ど、
was still a wreck from the night we left.
私たちが去った夜のままテーブルは散らばっ
It
てい
was like
た。
a bomb had gone off,
まる
killing
で爆
everyone
弾が
but
落ちて
sparing
み
the
んな殺さ
furniture.
れたけれど家財道具だけ無事に残ったみたいな。すごい表現方法だな。なんで血があるの。あ、違う、ワインだ。ワインの血だ。ワイン。お、これ見たことある。シャンデリア。
Nothing in the house looked
家の
abnormal.
中で
There
特
was
に変
just
なところ
too
はなか
much
っ
of it,
た。
like a smile,
家
too
があり
many
すぎ
teeth.
る。言ってみれば歯が多すぎる笑顔。どういうこと。
Even the fireplace had a story.
暖炉
Edie
に
told
さ
me the
ス
bricks
トー
came
リー
from the
があっ
original
た。イーデ
house
ィによると
after it sank.
沈んだ最初の家のレンガで作られたそうだ。へえ。あ、これテーブルか。これ誰の顔なんだろう。面白いデザインのツボだな。オルゴール。
Great Grandpa Sven built a
ひ
music
いお
box
じ
for
いちゃんの
Barbara,
スベンは
along
バ
with
ー
the
バラ
rest of
の
the
ために
house.
オルゴールを作った。そして家の他の部分も。バーバラってこれか。バーバラ・フィンチって書いてある。上、虫の標本がいっぱいある。
Mom always told me to stay out of the
私は
basement,
母さ
so
ん
I
にその
wasn't
地
too
下室に
surprised
入
when
る
the
な
key
と言っ
didn't
て
fit.
たから鍵がはまらなくても驚かなかった。家に地下室がある。防風壕かな。防風壕ってなんだ。あ、これってお年寄りのやつか。
After Milton disappeared,
ミ
Mom
ル
sealed
ト
up
ン
all
が
the
行方不明
bedrooms.
になった後、母さん
Then
は
Edie retaliated
寝
and drilled
室をすべて
peepholes.
封印。それにイディを反発して覗き穴を開けた。覗き穴。これ
As a kid, I just assumed every
子
house
供の
had
頃はど
peepholes
こ
and
にも
sealed
覗
rooms
き
you weren't
穴や
allowed
封印
inside
されて
of.
入れない部屋があるんだと思ってた。どう見てもトイレにしか見えないんだけど、どういうことなの。 グレゴリー1976から77。これは
My Grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
1950から61。なんだここ。
The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
私の肖像画。あ、あれがそうなんだな。
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
計画。
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
ミルトンってなんだ。猫。猫だよね。ステンドグラス。
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
はあ。
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
どんな人生なんだそれ。覗き穴を
Being
覗
inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
クラゲのぬいぐるみか。望遠鏡じゃない、顕微鏡がある。サソリ？カエル
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
おお。ハムスターがいる。
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
嘘でしょ。は？
Mom, can I come out now?
何これ虐待じゃん。マジか。虐待系はちょっと勘弁してほしいな。金魚だ。クリストファー ロビン。暗いな。何も見えないよ。トイレ。食べた。
I ate a lot of things that
あの
night.
夜いっぱい。え、それ食べちゃダメだよ。どう見ても食べ物じゃないよそれ。
I kept eating and eating.
食べて食べて食べ続けた。うわ、それ歯磨き粉。歯磨き粉食べちゃダメだよ。ああ、なんて生活させられてんだ。
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
ただ窓の外で鳥の声がした。
It
ま
was
さ
a
か
barn swallow going back to her
巣
nest.
に帰ろうとしているツ
I
バメ
reached
さ
out
ん
for her.
手を伸ばして捕まえようとしたら逃げた。
And suddenly,
いきなりえ、
I was a cat.
猫になってた。は、猫になってた。どうすればいいの？お、どうやって飛んだんだよ今。お、
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
Where?
And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
Usagi? His face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. Hmm?
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
juicy seals. Tasted really good. I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere. I was big, but I moved real quiet. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to be, and we both know I will be delicious.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
あ、画面が気持ち悪くなってきた。よいしょと。
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin, and that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Franco.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom, and he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that, maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up, a has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your screen.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and you...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
어? 깔꽂
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. Coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Ah, 気持ち悪い。 これまた上に上がるんか。あれ違うよな。行き止まりだもんな。こっち？あ？はい。ここか。
Whenever people ask me about my family,
人がうちの家族のことを聞くとき、いつも最初に知りたがるのはバーバラの話だ。
Edie's father Odin built the original
元
house.
の家
I
は
wonder
イ
if
ー
that comic
テ
was
ィ
right
の
about there being a
父。
key inside the music
早っ。
box near the basement.
地下室の脇にあるオルゴールの中に鍵が入ってると漫画にあったな。本当だろうか。
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs
私
on
た
the
ち
night
が
he
こ
left.
こを去った夜、母さんが3階を封じたに違いない。地下室。
A lot of things got left behind in the
この
whirlwind
夜
of
の
that
混
last
乱
night.
の中、たくさんのものが取り残された。なんすかこれ。梱包材？
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is
これ
buried
まで生き
somewhere
て
in the library.
きたフィンチ家の早いって。
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but
どこ？
she
ど
never
こ？
stopped believing that my
母さ
brother
んは
Milton
楽観
was
主義ではな
alive.
かったけど、兄のミルトンが生きていると信じ続けていた。それ楽観主義じゃないの。これさっきのオルゴールだよね。回し続けると鍵が取れる。あ、取れた。まんまさっきの部屋じゃん。怖いな。
Mom said the basement was off limits.
地下に絶対に立ち入り禁止だと。さもなば破傷風の注意をまたするわよと。破傷風の薬？
I saw Edie sneak down to the
一
basement
度イ
once.
ディがコソコソ荷物を持って地下に降りていくのを見たことがある。
I thought maybe she was hiding
なんか
presents.
プレゼントでも隠している。こんなとこにプレゼント、こん
It
なと
turned
こに。
out she was hiding a lot more than that.
実はもっといろいろ隠していたとは知らずに。何も見えないけど。
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
ウォルターはどこに行ったのか母さんに一度聞いたことがある。何も見えない
She
よ。
said after Barbara died, he got as far away as
バ
he
ーバ
could.
ラが亡くなった後、彼はできる限り遠ざかったと言っていた。
If there's a pattern in all these stories,
もしこれらのストーリーに共通点があるとしたら、
I think it's that none of us has
それは
gotten very
私たち
far.
の誰もがあまり遠ざかってはいられないこと。ウォルター、
Goodbye, everyone.
皆さんさようなら。
I can't believe I've been down here
ここにいて
for 30
もう30年になるとは信じられない。
On that first day,
あの
after the
最初
shaking
の
started,
振動が始めた
I
時は
didn't
1
think
週
I
間
was
も
alive.
持たないかと思った。どうやったっけ。どうやったっけ。あ、回すんだ。
But after a few
でも
days,
数日経
I
つと
settled
決まっ
into
た
a
日
routine.
課に落ち着いていった。
That's what kept me sane.
それで正気を保っていた。
Having a schedule,
スケジュー
living
ル
for
に
today.
従い今日一日ずつ生きる。
I
上、
always expected to be
い
dead
つも明
tomorrow.
日は死んでいるものだと思った。これ何？
But if you wait long enough,
でもある
you get
程
used
度
to
待っ
anything.
てば何でもなれるものだ。また？もういいよ、勘弁。
Even a monster
ドア
on
の
the
向
other side
こ
of
う
the
にいる
door
化け物
starts
だ
to
さ
feel
え普通に思えて、
almost friendly.
あわよくば友好的にね。また回るの見せるの。
And then one day,
そしてある日何もかもふと
stop.
止まった。
Whatever that thing was,
何だったにし
it
ろ
was gone.
それはどこかに
Maybe it
消
got
え
tired
た。
of waiting.
待ちきたびれたのかもしれない。
Maybe I just got
もし
tired
く
of
は
being
自分
afraid.
が恐れるのに疲れたのかもしれない。
It's been a week
Huh?
now, the longest in 30 years.
2005年、もう
I'm done waiting.
待つのは終わりだ。
I have to leave while I still
そ
can.
う。できるうちにここを出なければ。地下シェルター。すごい家だな。あ、ここさっき通ったところ
I know it's out there
だ。そ
somewhere.
れがどこか外にいるのは分かってる。
Whatever killed Barbara
バーバラを殺した何か、
and Molly
そしてモリーを、
and Calvin.
さらにカルビンも、
Maybe this is all a
こう
mistake.
するのは間違いかもしれない。何やったの？
But I need to stop
でも
living
同
the
じ日を
same
生きる
day,
のはもうたくさんだ。
even if it kills
こ
me.
れで死んだとしても、何やってるの？は？
Whatever's out there,
外に何人がいたって心の準備はできてる。
I'm going to appreciate
すべてに感謝できる、特に食べ物。
I don't mind if I only have a year
残された時間が1年でも別に気になら
or a
ない。
month
それか1月、
or a single week.
もしくは1週間だ
I'd
っ
be
て。
happy with one
新たな
new day.
日、一日で幸せだ。
I can already imagine the sun
顔に当たる太陽の光を想像できる。意味がわかんない。どういうこ
Walter died when I was 6.
と？亡くなったのは
I can't believe my
私が
mom never
6歳
told
の
me he
時
was
だ
down
った。
here.
私がおじいちゃん。 なんかここにいる人異常者しかいないんだね。怖いな。なんか普通の人がいないじ
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
ゃん。何？母さんはおそらく私を守ろうとしたんだろう。
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like
私がウ
Walter.
ォルターみたいになると思ったのかもしれない。
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
でも家の下にいるおじさんだ。早いって。
I can only imagine what else she was
他に
hiding.
何を隠していたのか計り知れない。
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made,
彼女と同じ過ちは繰り返したくない。
trying to bury something that's still
まだ生
alive.
きているものをうずめてしまうことは、
Now that there's only one of us left,
今となっ
or
て
maybe
は
two,
残るのは一人、ひょっとすると二人。ここさっきのところ。
I thought it was time I heard the
それぞれ
stories
の
for
ストー
myself
リーを自ら紐解く時が来たと思う。
and found out what happened to everyone
そ
else.
して他のみんなに何があったのか知る時が。
But now I'm worried the stories themselves might
で
be
も
the
こうしてみ
problem.
るとストーリー自体が問題な気もする。
Maybe we believed so much in a
私たちは
family
もし
curse.
かしたら一度にかかる呪いを信じたあまりにそれを現実にしてしまったのかも。ウォルター、異物？なんもないよ。
I don't know if I should even be writing
これを
this.
書くことさえやめた方がいいのかもしれない。
Maybe it'd be better if all this just died
私
with
と
me.
共にこれらの話すべて死んでしまった方が。
But I thought you should know about your
で
family.
もあなたに家族のことを知ってほしかった。
And the history you're a part of.
そしてあなたがその一部となる歴史を
Though to be honest, I feel as
正
lost as
直
you
なところ
probably
私
do
もあ
right
なた
now.
と同じくらい途方に暮れているけど
I think the people in these stories
あく
believed
ま
them.
で私の意見だけど出てきた人たちは各々のストーリーを信じていた。
And when you look at the house,
そしてこの屋
that
敷を見
history of
ると
imagination and
その想
stubbornness,
像力と頑固さの歴史を考
any of it
える
seems
と
possible.
中のどれもあり得るように思える。
I think we've been surrounded by death for so
数
long,
々
we've
の
just
死
gotten used
に
to it.
長いこと囲まれて私たちは慣れてしまっ たのか。
What kind of family finishes building a
家より
cemetery
先に
before starting the
墓
house?
地を建て終える家族なんて他に聞いたことがない。
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
これを読みと早い。
the pet cemetery made
私
me more
にとっ
uncomfortable
て
than
は
the
ペ
human one.
ットのお墓の方が人間の墓地より気味悪かった。
Three of the
うわ、
gerbils were mine.
スナネズミのうち3匹は私ので2匹は私のせいだった。マジか。は、何これ。
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who
家
designed
を
the
建
cemetery.
てたのはスッペンだ。あ、なんか早い。読ませる気がないくらい早い。
I'm sure Odin's monument
オー
had
ディ
been
ンの
Edie's
記念碑
idea.
はイーディが考え
My
た
mom
ん
was
だろう。
always trying to move on,
母さんはい
but
つも
for Edie
前
the
に
past
進
never
もう
went
としてい
away.
たけど、イーディにとって過去がそばにあった。これが母親。これ父親。
She could see it poking out of the
湖
water
が
at
低
low
くなる
tide.
とひょいと顔を出すものだった。
Edie said she dreamed about the old house
イー
every
ディ
night.
は毎晩古い家の夢を見ると言ってた。
Edie's side was always easier for me to
イー
understand.
ディの言い分の方がいつも私には分かりやすかっ
But the older I get, the more I can see where
た。
my
で
mom
も
was
年
coming
を
from.
重ねるにつれ母さんの言うことも分かるようになった。
She lost two of her brothers,
彼女
just
は
like I
私と
did.
同じように
I
2
get
人
why
の
she
兄を
tried
失
so
っ
hard
た
to
私た
protect
ちを
us.
守ろうとするのも当然だと思う。
There's so many things I wish I could
母
ask
さ
my
んに
mom
聞き
now.
たかったことが今になっ
Part
て
of me
山ほ
thinks
どある。
this is what she
心
wanted
の
all
どこか
along.
で母さんはこれを望んでいたようだけど、私が戻ってくるこ
And
と
find everything out for
そ
myself.
して自分で答えを見つけ出すことを。
But looking back on it now,
でも今振り返ってみると、
if she told me there was going to be so much
こん
climbing,
なにたくさんのことがあると彼女から聞いてい
I
た
never
ら
would have come when I was 22 weeks
妊
pregnant.
娠22週目の体で来ようとは思わなかっただろう。
I never met Grandpa Sam, but
サムおじいちゃんに会ったことはないけど、彼と母さんは似ていたと思う。
they were both pretty intense.
二人とも真剣な性格だった。
It
Dawn, I promise you'll
約
never
束
forget
す
this
るよ。
weekend.
今週末は忘れれば。あいあ
These
いさ。
memories are gonna last a
思い
lifetime.
出は一生もだから。
Am I gonna have to shoot
私何
anything?
か撃たなきゃいけない。彼に行くんだよ。でも撃つのは強く推奨される行動だね。
Shouldn't we be leaving?
行か
Just
ない
wanna get
の。
a shot of you,
記
Dawn,
念
then
に
we
お
can
前
take
の
off.
写真を撮りたいんだけど、それから出よう。
I'm over here, Dad.
私はこっちを。
What?
これか。
Perfect.
よし、完璧だ。
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't
週
it?
末ずっと雨降りになりそうね。
I will never forget this
この
weekend,
週
Dad.
末はずっと忘れないわ。その息だ。
Okay, got it.
よし、撮れたぞ。
I'm gonna take some pictures,
私も
okay?
少し写真撮って気をつけて。そのカメラはお前より古いんだ。
You're right, Dad. It's starting to
ご
clear up.
飯で売った通りだわ。だんだんまだやっぱり寒いけど。ピントが合わない。
Aw.
ちょっとやば。
Should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely won't be moving.
Are you done yet?
Does it sound like I'm done? Nothing quite like being outside. Oop, a little more gas in the tank, I guess. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Let's see. Maybe. Was it? Could have been. Don? Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced, whenever you're ready. Great shot, Don. I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about—
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
早い。サムが亡くなってから母さんとイーディは近しくなった。二人とも多くを失ったから。プレイルーム的な。
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Gregory, it's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. Reminded me so much of Frank. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Come on, I don't want Grace to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent my dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery. But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Oh,
like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. He was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
もう5時か。一回やめよう。